And at 8:14 on a Tuesday morning, your phone vibrates, not once, not twice, it doesn't stop. At first, you think something terrible happened. War, market crash, family emergency. But when you finally unlock the screen, every notification says the same thing. Your net worth has updated. Not millionaire, not billionaire, trillionaire. 12 digits beside your name. Enough money to buy entire industries without checking the price. Enough money that governments begin discussing you in emergency meetings before lunch. Within an hour, financial channels are running specials with your face on them. By afternoon, your old college photos are on television. By evening, strangers know the street you grew up on. And before midnight, there are drones hovering outside your apartment window. At first, it feels exciting, unreal, like the universe accidentally gave you admin access. You laugh while scrolling through headlines. The richest human in modern history. The first $1 trillion individual. Could one person become more powerful than nations? You order expensive food just because you can. You tip the delivery driver $50,000. The poor guy nearly faints in the hallway. You think maybe this life will be fun. Then someone rings your doorbell at 2:11 a.m. Not once, over and over. You freeze. You check the camera. There are 15 people outside your building. One holds flowers, another holds a sign asking for help paying medical bills. One guy is live streaming, two are just staring directly into the camera lens like they've discovered a zoo animal. Your stomach tightens for the first time. The next morning, you hire security. Former military, former intelligence, men built like armored trucks. They sweep your apartment for bugs. Check your elevators, map emergency exits. One of them quietly tells you something before bed. From now on, assume every room has a camera. You stop sleeping properly after that. But money solves problems, right? That's what everyone says. So you escalate. You move out within 48 hours. No announcement, no forwarding address. You purchase a private estate hidden behind forest and concrete walls 30 feet high. The driveway alone is longer than the street you grew up on. Thermal cameras cover every angle, facial recognition at the gates, armed patrols rotating day and night. The property contains its own medical wing, backup generators, underground panic rooms, and satellite communications. The seller asks if you want the furniture included. You buy the entire company that owned the property instead. It's faster. Your financial advisor doesn't even blink anymore. The numbers have become abstract. A $300 million expense feels emotionally identical to buying toothpaste. That's the first strange thing about impossible wealth. The scale breaks your brain. You stop understanding value. A normal person hesitates before ordering extra guacamole. You purchase helicopters because traffic annoys you for 6 minutes. And still, your fortune keeps growing. Every morning, your investments generate more money than entire neighborhoods will see in a lifetime. You begin making purchases almost experimentally. You buy a luxury watch company because you like the logo. You acquire a Mediterranean hotel after spending one weekend there. You purchase 3 penthouses in different countries and forget you own 2 of them. One afternoon, you're bored during a meeting and buy a professional sports team from your phone. The transfer finishes before dessert arrives, but eventually the excitement fades. Because possessions stop feeling special when nothing is out of reach, the impossible becomes routine frighteningly fast. Your staff expands, then expands again. Chefs, drivers, cybersecurity specialists, nutritionists, personal physicians, pilots, ground crews, property managers, assistants for your assistants. Eventually, over 70 people work for you full-time. Your house functions like a luxury hotel that only serves one guest. At first, the attention feels flattering, then it becomes exhausting. Every public appearance turns into an operation, routes planned, restaurants cleared, exit strategies mapped. Your security team speaks in codes now. You miss walking into random stores, you miss standing in line, you miss being invisible. One morning, you decide you want pancakes from the tiny diner you used to visit years ago. Simple, normal, human. Your team hates the idea immediately, but eventually they agree. 3 black SUVs arrive before sunrise. The diner is secretly secured in advance. Employees sign legal documents before you enter. When you walk inside, everything goes silent. Forks stop moving. People stare. A child points at you like you're fictional. The waitress tries to act calm, but her hands shake pouring coffee. You sit in the same booth you always used to sit in. Same menu, same pancakes, same burnt coffee. But nothing tastes familiar anymore because normal life requires anonymity. And yours no longer exists. So you retreat further into private worlds. Private islands, private terminals, private beaches, private elevators, private theaters. Every inconvenience removed. Every friction eliminated. And somehow, life starts feeling strangely flat. Then the requests begin. Not small requests, massive ones. A governor asks you to fund infrastructure. A university wants $1 billion endowment. A country invites you to economic discussions. Charities call daily. Your inbox becomes a battlefield of desperation, children needing surgeries, cities needing water systems, organizations demanding support. Everyone tells you the same thing. With your resources, you could change everything. And they're right. That's the horrible part. You actually could. So you start donating. Huge amounts. Disaster recovery, medical research, food programs, climate projects, housing initiatives. You sign checks large enough to rewrite thousands of lives. For a few hours, people praise you online, then someone posts, "Why not give more?" Another says, "A trillionaire donating millions is like normal people donating pocket change." You stare at the screen longer than you should, because mathematically, they aren't wrong. The money becomes morally heavy. Every luxury starts carrying invisible guilt. Your yacht costs more than hospitals. Your wine cellar could erase school lunch debt in multiple states. Every extravagant purchase now comes with silent accusations attached. And meanwhile, your personal life quietly collapses. Friends begin behaving differently. Some become overly polite. Some disappear entirely. Others suddenly pitch business ideas during dinner. Nobody talks naturally around you anymore. You can feel them calculating. Even when they try not to, especially when they try not to. One of your oldest friends visits the estate. Years ago, you two used to sit on broken furniture, debating stupid movies until 3 a.m. Now he compliments everything. The architecture, the artwork, the security system. Your wine, your clothes. He agrees with every opinion you express. He laughs too quickly. You realize halfway through dinner that he's afraid to offend you. Not because you'd hurt him, because your approval now feels financially important. And once money enters a relationship, honesty slowly leaves through the back door. Then come the lawsuits. Constantly, relentlessly, people claiming old verbal promises, old partnerships, old damages, old conversations, stories from years ago suddenly rewritten for profit. Most claims are absurd, but every case becomes news. Every headline becomes content. Your legal department grows larger than some law firms. Entire teams now exist solely to protect you from humanity's creativity. One attorney tells you something during a late-night briefing. When people see impossible wealth, they stop viewing it as personal property. They see it as a resource waiting to be extracted. That sentence sticks with you, because after a while, you stop knowing who actually sees you as human. Then you meet someone. Unexpectedly, no introductions through executives, no political agendas, just someone sharp enough to surprise you. Conversations feel easy again. You laugh naturally for the first time in months. And for a little while, you almost forget the money. Until one night she casually mentions details you never told her, the name of your pilot, the country your yacht is docked in, your preferred security vehicle. Tiny things, internet things, research things, normal things, but suddenly every moment becomes contaminated by doubt. Would she still like you if you rented a tiny apartment and drove an old car? Or is she in love with the gravitational pull surrounding your life? You hate yourself for wondering. But once suspicion enters intimacy, it poisons everything quietly. Eventually you pull away. A week later, tabloids publish photographs of both of you leaving a restaurant. Then more photos. Then rumors. Then fake insider stories. Reporters camp outside her building, her co-workers get contacted, strangers dissect her appearance online, and you realize something terrifying. Anyone who gets close to you loses privacy by association. Your existence damages normal lives accidentally. You send her a long message apologizing. She reads it. No response. Your PR team tells you silence is strategically optimal. You begin hating the phrase, strategically optimal. Around this time, betrayal becomes routine. A former acquaintance sells private stories to the press. Old jokes, old mistakes, old photos. Context disappears. Nuance disappears. The internet reduces entire human lives into headlines optimized for outrage. Your advisors instruct you not to react publicly. Attention amplifies controversy. So you sit alone in a massive office while strangers debate your morality online. Outside the windows, helicopters circle above the property line. Inside, 7 monitors track markets, moving billions around your name. And somewhere in the middle of all that noise, your mother calls. She asks if you're sleeping enough, tells you about flowers growing near her porch, complains about birds stealing seeds from the garden. For 10 beautiful minutes, your life sounds normal again. Then she carefully mentions your sister, medical debt, financial stress, embarrassment. You transfer enough money to erase every problem she has ever faced. She thanks you. But after that, conversations become shorter, more careful. Like your success placed glass between everyone. At family gatherings, something feels off now. Relatives act overly appreciative or strangely distant. Nobody knows how to behave around someone wealthier than entire bloodlines combined. And honestly, neither do you. Eventually, paranoia enters the estate. Security discovers a leak inside your staff. Someone selling information to media outlets. Schedules, photos, visitor logs, nothing catastrophic. Just enough to remind you that privacy has become a commodity. The employee is quietly removed. Replacement hired immediately. The machine continues functioning, because that's what wealth does best. It keeps moving. Regardless of emotion, regardless of loneliness. One evening, you take your yacht into open water. The sunset is absurdly beautiful, the kind of beauty people imagine money creates. Golden light across endless ocean. Perfect wine. Perfect temperature, perfect silence. Dinner prepared by chefs trained in the finest restaurants on earth. And yet, the table only has one plate. Later that night, you return to your residence. Hallways glow softly from hidden lighting. Security cameras rotate silently overhead. Everything is spotless. Controlled. Perfect. You walk through rooms bigger than your first apartment building. Indoor cinema, empty. Bowling alley, empty. Glass lounge overlooking the cliffs, empty. Around 3 a.m., unable to sleep, you step outside barefoot onto the lawn. Cold grass, cold air. No cameras nearby for once. You look up, and there they are, the same stars you stared at years ago when you were broke. Nothing about them changed. Same constellations, same darkness, same silence. Back then, you thought unlimited money would unlock life itself, but standing there alone in a property guarded like a military base, you finally understand something nobody tells you. Luxury can buy comfort, it can buy freedom from inconvenience. It can buy access, influence, safety, power, but it cannot purchase normal human connection once the scale becomes too extreme. Because at a certain level of wealth, you stop living beside society. You begin orbiting outside of it. And the higher you rise, the fewer people can breathe the same air with you naturally. The next morning, your assistant greets you at the private terminal. Your calendar is already full. Acquisitions, interviews, policy meetings, investment briefings, charity discussions. You nod through all of it mechanically. The convoy drives through the gates, past the fountains, past the tennis courts nobody uses, past the sculpture garden, past dozens of employees maintaining a world built entirely around your existence. The vehicles stop. Security opens your door. You step out. Inside the estate, everything is running perfectly. Every system operational, every detail managed, every luxury imaginable already waiting for you, and somehow, for the first time in your life, you miss being unknown.